Good morning, dear children. In last video, we have discussed the outline of this chapter, the chapter "The Enemy" by Paul Osbach. So, before we read the chapter, just have a look on this opening. It is the time of the World War. Which World War? World War II. An American prisoner, as we discussed, who was American prisoner? Tom. Of war is washed ashore in a dying state. Fine. So in dying state, he was on the seashore and is found at the doorstep of Japanese doctor. And who is this Japanese doctor? Doctor Shadao. Now, this introduction ends with one question. The question is, should he save him as a doctor? Means, should Doctor Shadao save that American prisoner as a responsibility of a doctor, or hand him over to the army as a patriot? Or Dr. Shadao should hand over the American prisoner to the army as a good citizen of Japan? So we will have the answer of this question basically. Let's discuss. Let's start the chapter. Dr. Shadao Hoki's house was built on a spot. Now chapter starts with the location of the house of Dr. Shadao of the Japanese coast. The house was located at Japanese coast, where as a little boy he had often played, where he used to play when he was a child. The lower bottom, square stone house was set upon rocks. That was the location was on the rock. The house was built on the rock, well above a narrow beach, which beach? Sea beach, coastal area that was outlined with the bent pines, means trees, coconut trees. As a boy, Shadao had climbed the pines. Means as a boy he used to climb these trees, supporting himself on his bare feet, with his bare feet, as he had seen men do in the South Seas when they climbed for coconut. So by following the people or by imitating the people, those who used to climb up in South Seas to have coconut on the trees, to get coconuts on the trees. Now, his father had taken him often to the islands of those seas. Dear children, we know it very well that Japan is a country of islands. So when he was a child, his father took him to the islands, and never had he failed to say to the little brave boy. And always he motivated his son, Dr. Shadao, at his side by saying what? By saying, these islands yonder, means these islands, they have back you can say, powerful energy. They are the stepping stone. They are the stepping stone to the future for Japan. Means when he was a child, when Dr. Stow was a child, he was taken to the islands by his father, and his father motivated him by pointing out these islands, because these islands, they contain the power to make the future of Japan bright. Where shall we step from them? Sadao had asked seriously. He asked his father what is the step they would take. Means these islands. Means where is the future of Japan in coming days? Who knows? His father had answered. His father answered, nobody knows where Japan will go. And definitely it happens. My dear children, there are lot many examples which have been set by Japan. For example, tsunami. For example, uh, their intelligence, especially in technology. Okay, like Sony, Panasonic. in automobile also, like Honda, fine, and Hitachi. All these Panasonic, all these brands are Chinese. We know it very well. So he says, "Who knows? Who knows where will we go?" His father answered, "Who can limit our future?" His father said, "There is nobody in the world who can limit the future of Japan." And still, it is appropriate saying in this regard. It depends on what we make it, but it depends on how we do our work, how we take it, whether we take it negatively or positively. But still, nobody is there in the world who can limit, who can stop, who can create barrier in the development of Japan. Then after, Sadao had taken this into his mind as he did everything his father said. So since his childhood, Dr. Sadao had a great company of his father who motivated him to be a great citizen or to be a great person in his life. Obviously, Dr. Sadao took his father as a role model. His father who never joked. First thing is, his father who never joked to his child. All the time he motivated him seriously or played with him, but who spent infinite pains upon him who was his only son. He was his only child, and who did not play with him, who did not joke with him. But Dr. Shadawa's father spent a lot of time by taking pain to make him really a good person in his living, in his life. Shadaw knew that his education was his father's chief concern. Shadaw knew it very well that the study of his is the main worry of his father. For this reason, he had been sent at 22 to America. At the age of 22, Dr. Shada was sent to America to learn what to learn? All that could be learned of surgery and medicine. Dr. Shada was sent to America to learn what? Surgery and medicine. So what? Means his doctor said. He had come back at 30, means after spending 8 years in Japan, he came to, sorry, after spending 8 years in America, he came to Japan. And before his father died, and before his death, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. So before his death, Dr. Sadao's father was able to see his son a successful person in terms of becoming a surgeon, not only a surgeon, but also a scientist. Because he was perfecting a discovery. Means basically Dr. Sadao was making himself perfect, which would render wounds entirely clean. As a surgeon, he was very good, but he discovered something how to make the wound entirely clean. That was his basic thing of his uh, doctor's. He had not been sent abroad with the troops. Troops means soldiers. Okay, after coming to Japan, after getting degrees and the knowledge of surgeon and becoming a scientist, he wasn't allowed to leave Japan. It is written here. Uh, he had not been sent abroad with the troops. Also, he knew there was some slight danger that the old general, who's that general? Defense general, army general, General Takima, might need an operation. He might need an operation for a condition for which he was now being treated medically. Uh, my dear children, one more thing we came to know here that due to General Takima's treatment or operation, Dr. Shida was not allowed to leave Japan. The reason being, he has been a great surgeon, first thing, and second thing, he was a very trustworthy person. And General Takima believes him blindly. Fine. That's why he was not. And for this possibility, Sadao was being kept in Japan. That's why Dr. Sadao was not allowed to leave Japan. Now, next point is clouds were rising from the ocean now. Now, the forming of cloud is being written in this paragraph. The unexpected warmth of the past few days had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves, and due to some weather changes, the cold wave was blowing and fog was taking place. Sada watched mist hide outlines of a little island near the shore and then came creeping up the beach below the house, writhing around the pines. So here, as the fog was coming, and Sada was watching that this mist, this fog, was taking over of his body as well and the complete locality or the area. A little island, then thereafter, in a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house. After some time, this fog will wrap this house also. To then he would go into the room where Hana means his wife, would be waiting for him with two children. So right now in this paragraph we came to know that clouds were forming, fog was taking place, and it was late evening time, and then Sadao decided to go to house where his wife Anna with two children was waiting. But at that moment the door opened and she looked out a dark blue woolen Hayori. The gate was open, and she came out. She was wearing a dark blue woolen Hayori. Hayori means a loose outer garment worn by the kimono. So this is just you can simply say a Japanese dress that a lady wears most commonly. So she came with dark blue woolen Hayori over her kimono. She came, stood. She came to him very affectionately, very lovingly. She came to him and put her arm through his as he stood, smiled, and said nothing. Miss Dr. Sadao came, he stood, and Hana put her, you can say, arm on him. He had met Hana, now background of their life. He had met Hana in America. Fine. Before their marriage, they had been a part of their love affair. So Dr. Sadao met Hana in America, but he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure she was Japanese. So before their affair, Dr. Sadao make it confirm that this girl is Japanese. Which girl? Hana. His father would never have received her unless she had been pure in her race. Means to say, Dr. Sadao's father was confirmed that he would allow his son to get married only if the girl belongs to Japan with its with her pure race. Okay, so that was the condition. That's why Dr. Sadao uh, did not fall in love in first sight. So he wondered often whom he would have married if he had not met Hana. Means now he doubts that if he had not met Hana, to whom he would get married. Okay, so that's just a simple possibility. And by what luck he had found her in the most casual way. Very friendly, he found that girl by chance, literally. It was just an accident that he met Hannah at an American professor's house. Means in America he met Hannah and in professor's house where they used to get studies. The professor and his wife had been kind people, anxious to do something for their few foreign students. All the time means this professor and his wife, they were so kind to the foreign students and they believed in doing something good for the foreigners, especially. Though Board had accepted this kindness, Sadao had often told Hannah how nearly he had not gone to Professor Harley's, and this is the name of the professor where Dr. Sadao met Hannah. So Sadao told Hannah that how nearly he had gone to Professor Harley's house that night. What were the reason? Why did he not go? The rooms, the rooms were so small. Means the size of the rooms was so small. Okay, the food so bad. The food was often the food was not also good quality. The professor wife so voluble. Voluble means talkative. So these three reasons were there. That's why Sadao did not go to Professor Harley's house that night. But he had gone and there he had found Hannah. But he went there and he found Hannah. New students. At that time, Hannah was a new student and had felt he would love her if it were at all possible. If it was possible, then definitely he would fall in love with her at first sight. Now, next one. Now he felt her hand on his arm. Now Dr. Shadao again came in present situation. Now Dr. Shadao felt her hand on his arm and was aware of the pleasure it gave him. Means both of them, husband and wife, they felt good of getting company of each other, of having company of each other. Even though they had been married years enough to have the two children. Means since long they have been married and now they have two children. For they had not married headless in America. That's why they did not do this marriage in America. They had finished their work at school. School means at college level. The school is a American word where some departments are confirmed, like biology department, physics department, or MBBS department, MD department, MSS department, likewise. So they finished their studies in schools in America and had come to Japan, and they came to Japan. And when his father had seen her, the marriage had been arranged in the old Japanese way. And after coming to Japan, the marriage of Dr. Shadao with Hana arranged with all customs, traditions, and rituals of Japan. Means in old Japanese way. So here we came to know one thing also that Dr. Shadao's father was very Japanese from the very core of his heart, isn't it? That's why he did not allow his only child, son, to get married to any other girl who does not belong to Japan. Although Dr. Shadao and Hana had talked everything over beforehand, even though Dr. Shadao and Hana they have discussed each and every point about all these Japanese ways, Japanese culture, custom, their father before the marriage or beforehand. They were perfectly happy. Okay, they are good in their life, they are happy. She laid her cheek against his arm and then she put her cheek against his arm on his Dr. Shadao's arm. So this is the reading part first of this chapter. The remaining part we will you can say we will read in next video. Till then, do its reading, and I hope you have got the point what we have discussed. Like I just tell you, in this first part, we came to know about the location of house as there is a question. Who was Dr. Sadao? Dr. Sadao was a Japanese doctor. Okay, where was his house? His house was based on a rock near the Japanese coast. Fine. So in this one, we came to know this one. And then his father, his childhood, and thereafter his studies. Okay, and then a little description about General Takima, then the weather condition, and thereafter the background of Dr. Shadao's life. How did he get in fall in love with Hana? And now the present situation where now they have two children and they are feeling good and they are happy with their life. Okay, that's all for today, my dear children. Thank you. Have a good day.